It's taking a minute. Oh, here you go. Hello, everybody. This is Morelias, along with Aslan from Framing POS Inc. And this is our weekly meeting live stream that we have, and we discuss developments and what things we found, bugs, fixes, and any new promotions. If you wait in the next 15 minutes, we have a really cool promotion, an add-on service that we are going to announce, and then we have a special guest that we're going to bring up to you. Aslan, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. If you'd missed last week's live stream, I'm Aslan. I'm the lead software developer at Framing POS. So if you have any technical questions, you can throw it at me.
All right, guys. Hey, I know everybody is watching from everywhere. Right now, the software is only available in America, but will be available in almost all English-speaking countries, definitely Australia, UK, Canada. But why don't you comment where you're from, so we know how far is the reach to the audience. Aslan, you want to just talk about some bugs, fixes, and so on that we did? You want to go
Sure.
with that first?
Yeah, so we received your feedback, which is really helpful. We added a bunch of new features. I can go over them now. Let me just do a quick presentation. So let me share screen, entire screen. There we go. All right. So most of the fixes are in the work order page. So here I can create a new work order, and probably the first thing you guys can see is this equal mats and equal white space checkbox. So previously, if you wanted to put in the mat reveal, you'd have to do them individually. But with this new checkbox, whatever you put in here will reflect on all of the mats. And also the same for the white space. So the white space is another thing that we added. This goes in between the mats and the artwork. So if I were to, let's say, create a new artwork, say 16 by 20, let's put in a mat of, say, 1 inch all around. And then another, let me put in the, here we go. Okay, so here, this first part is the mat, which is an Arctic mat right here. You can see in the preview that the mat is on the outside and the white space of 1 inch is on the inside. Also, we added support for fractions, so I can do 1.5. And now the reveals of the white space are 1.5. And you can put fractions in the art size as well. So let me just do 1/8, for example, for the width. And the overall size of everything gets calculated and reflected. Also, this right here, there's a new input for final size. So the final size is the art size plus the white space plus the mat size. So this is automatically calculated. If I were to do 24 here, for example, you can see it automatically updated this to 29 inches. So if we confirm the size right here, let's say someone working on this work order, they confirmed that this is 21.1/8 by 29 inches. Now any other changes that we make here, say 26, it's not going to change the final size because this has been manually confirmed by a worker. If the worker wants to change anything here, they can. Say 22, and then if they uncheck this and then make a change again, it reflects on the changes again. The other thing we added, this is something that a lot of people requested, the printing of the work orders. So there's this button here that if you just click, it opens a new print window where you can basically print the view of the work order that we had. This is a tentative solution. We're going to have a full we're gonna have a graphic designer to design a whole PDF so that it looks nicer, and you guys can have a nicer template. But for now, this is what we're working with. Yeah, you guys can play around with that if you want. The same with the invoice. We have, if we create a new invoice, there's a print button here that works the same way. So that's pretty much all we have so far. I'm gonna stop sharing. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Aslan. So there was a question by James McDonald. James is in Long Island, and he wants to know our URL. James said, go to framingpos.com. There's a button to log in, and at the bottom of it, it tells you where the informational page is. You click on that, it's going to take you there. Also, if you look at the bottom of the screen, the informational page is info.framingpos.com, and you have my cell phone and you have my messenger, so you can text me and message me directly if you wanted to. All right, so I want to bring in a guest. My guest today is Sheila Macombi, and Sheila is in Vegas. She's our guest today. Sheila, hi Sheila, welcome.
Hi everybody.
How's it going?
Good to be here. It's great. Yeah, it's great to be here. So Mo and I sorry, do you have a question?
Sheila, tell me why you're here. What business are you starting? Because that'll be good for the folks to know.
Yeah. So I'm here. Mo and I reconnected at the Frameworks Expo back in Chicago last month, and I worked for FrameReady for a few years, and did a lot of pricing and helping people with their shops and hopefully making them profitable. And so now I did leave FrameReady, and I'm going off on my own to be a small business consultant and to help framers more with the business side of the framing industry, because I know that's a big problem that we all face. I was so glad to see Mo. He's been such a great contact to have in the framing world. We both share a passion for framing, and he's been a wonderful mentor to me when I had a frame shop. I know I could give him a call whenever I had a question about, I don't know how to frame this. What do you think? How should I mount this crazy thing? And he'd always be so helpful and give me an answer. So just to give you a little bit about my background, I actually started framing back in 1993 when we did it with a rock and a stick and a knife, and that was about it.
I started, Sheila. I started about the same time.
Back in the olden days.
Yeah.
And I ended up working. Before that had worked in a big retail corporation. I started working with them when I was in high school, and then in between semesters in college, and I ended up being a manager of their distribution center. They got bought out, but they had a wonderful training program, and all the management trainees they made us take. Back then it was correspondence courses. We didn't have online, but through Cornell. So I got a really good business education through them, in addition to going to college too. And so they got sold, and they were kind of getting rid of all the middle, going to work for my family business, and that's in Fairbanks, Alaska. And my dad owned we had an arts and crafts store, a framing shop, a hardware store, and a sporting goods store. And so I was general manager for all that, but I didn't know about the framing industry. So that's when I went. Larson Jewell at that time was giving framing classes.
Oh, I remember those. They had classes, right?
They were great. I wish they'd do it again.
Yeah.
So I went and took the framing class, and the first time I cut a frame, I was like, ooh, I like this. This is cool. So I joke and say, it was love at first chop. The first time I chopped a frame, I'm like, this is my thing. I found my purpose in life. So kind of pathetic, but that's where I am. I love art and I love framing. A little bit later, I went back to grad school, did some other things, worked in marketing for about 20 years. And then I ended up opening up my own frame shop. I moved from Anchorage to a little town north called Wasilla. And when my sister passed away, and I opened up a frame shop there, so I didn't have to do, a 50-mile commute. I adopted her son, and I wanted to be home every night by 6 o'clock so we could have dinner together. And so I took care of my son and was a single parent and running a business. I don't know how I did it, but I did. Teenage boys are expensive. They eat a lot, but we did great. But when I first opened my small frame shop, I thought I had a lot of hubris and thought, hey, I know what I'm doing. I've run big businesses, multi-million dollars. I know what I've got going on here. Until the reality of it, I had my business open about 6 months, and I was running a hamster wheel. I wasn't making any money. And I was
Mhm.
like, what is wrong with me? I know I had a really good business plan. I know what's going on. I know what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong? And so I did what you do when your business isn't doing well. Is I went to Las Vegas, and I didn't win a lot of money, but I did go to WCIF. And I was determined when I went there. I'm like, I'm going to talk to the smartest people in this industry, and I'm going to find out what I'm doing wrong, because something's the math isn't math, and I don't understand what's happening. And so I talked to Jay Goltz, Rob Markoff, Jim Miller. I mean, all the guys and gals who were smarter than me for sure. And when I talked to Rob Markoff, he said, I can tell you what you're doing wrong. I'm like, please do. He said, you need to take off your apron, get out of your back room, and start acting like a boss. And that was an epiphany. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm in my own way. I am micromanaging my employees, which I'm sure that they love. They don't. They don't love that when you do
They
it.
always do.
And I'm spending my time in the back, and I'm not spending time doing the boring boss business stuff that you have to do to make your business successful. So when I came back to my shop, I sat down with my employees. I had about 4 employees at the time, apologized, and said, hey, I've been a bad boss. I'm really sorry. I've been micromanaging you. And they were kind of like, yeah, you kind of have been. And I'm like, okay, that's going to stop. And of course, we were small enough, I couldn't take every day off, but I dedicated myself to taking 2 days a week. One day, Mondays were for ordering, taking care of all the accounting stuff, negotiating prices with vendors, and taking care, reading all the reports, analyzing sales, all that boring boss stuff, but you got to do it, paying the bills, which is always the scary part. And then Wednesdays, I worked on marketing. Those days were solely for marketing. And I made a deal with my team that I'm not allowed in the back room. If I go back in the back room those days, I owe them pizza or ice cream. I have to buy them lunch. And so it was kind of a joke, but yeah, I wasn't allowed. If they called me back there, a different thing if they had a question about something. But I wasn't allowed in the back room.
Did that help your
Absolutely
business?
forbidden. Absolutely. And within 2 months, I actually got my first paycheck from my business. So I learned a hard lesson, and I feel really dumb because I knew that, but I did it. And I noticed that in talking. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of framers, especially working for Frame Ready, and all of us kind of make that mistake where we get so involved in the production part of it and controlling that, especially in smaller frame shops, that we don't pay attention to the business side and keeping on track of pricing and things like that. So, um, I,
Is that what you do now as a business consultant? You help with pricing?
right. So we do several things. One is absolutely work with pricing. I worked with Frame Ready, and we did pricing consults and things like that, and it was great. But where I was a little bit frustrated and held back is that I couldn't give people business advice. It wasn't appropriate for me to do that in that time frame or within those parameters. And so, I work with folks, and they were making huge mistakes, and I couldn't really say anything. I tried to steer them maybe a different way. Like I had one fella, he was trying to lower all his prices just right before the holidays, and I was like, why would you do that? You don't want to do that. Yeah, I do, because I had 2 customers come in and say my prices were too high. I was like, well, how many people do you have coming in every week? Like 50? I'm like, well, that's not even 5%. So why are you lowering your prices, especially before the holidays? I don't think that's a good idea, but I can't say don't do it. And then I talked to him a couple months later. He's like, yeah, I need to put my prices back up because we just had the worst Christmas ever. I'm like, well, let's look. And so we looked at his numbers. If he would just kept his prices where they were, he would have beat the previous year's numbers. But yeah, he lowered his prices 15%. I'm like, don't. So, and sometimes we do those things. We all make dumb decisions. Gosh knows I do. And so that's one of the things I want to do is help coach people. And we'll talk, every couple months and say, just a little coaching call, see where you're at on your goals. So you have different choices. You can just hire me. Hey, I just want to work on my pricing. I need help doing it, figuring it out. It's too complicated for me to do it in Frame Ready or Lifesaver or in Framing POS, and I'll definitely help you do that. Of course, now we're focusing more on Framing POS. I'm really excited about this software. I think it will meet a lot of needs and things that we've been begging for the big companies. I think there's a lot of things that are going to be really cool in the software that the big guys aren't doing. So yeah, I've been where you are. I've sat in my office and cried some months and thought, okay, I got to pay my employees or pay my electric bill. What am I going to do? And I'm not going to get paid for sure. So I just really am dedicated to, want folks to be successful.
So Sheila, I
And
have your
yeah.
email at the bottom of the screen.
Mhm.
What is the name of your business?
Strategies for success.
Strategy
So
for
that's what we
Success.
want to do. We want to make you successful in your business. We'll help with pricing consults. We'll do coaching if you want that. And again, I'm not going to come in and say, this is how you have to run your business. It's your business. I'm going to listen to you. We're going to figure out what your goals are. And I'm going to do everything I can to help you meet those goals. You know your customers better than I do. You know your area better than I do. But sometimes you need somebody to kind of give you just a gentle little kick in the butt every couple of months to say, hey, how are we doing on that? Are you back to your old habits of micromanaging your business? Or are we moving forward? What's going on? Or what do we need to tweak? What do we need to look at to help your business become more successful? The other thing I do help with employee development. We all have, managing other employees can be a whole big box of worms. So I have employee manuals, things that we can help you do to train your employees effectively, make sure you hire the right people and have less turnover and more productive employees. And I can help you set up marketing plans and strategies for being success. So you can subscribe to my services with Framing POS. You get a couple hours of free consult
Oh,
time.
wait, don't give it away. Hold
Oh,
on.
sorry.
I got a
Oops.
graphic.
Sorry. I just get so excited about it. Well, I can't stop.
So I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you get 2 hours of one-on-one consulting time for me, and that's a $200 value. And so we'll go through your pricing, figure out your strategy, and if we need a little extra time in that, that's fine. To figure out what you're going to do. And so yeah, and if you like me and decide that hey, I want to subscribe to Sheila's services, you absolutely can, but you're not obligated in any way to do that. But yeah, on top of coaching, I have had people ask me to do in-person frame shop visits, and that's something that I would do as well. There's a little bit more of a cost involved in doing something like that, but yeah, do you want me to come to your
We
shop and check it
can
out?
probably accomplish a lot by a Zoom call,
Most of that, yeah. Once in a while, though, I've taught classes at WCAF. I've taught them at the Frame Expo in Boston. We've done lots of webinars. So I don't know if my face is familiar, but my voice might be familiar because I've talked to a lot of folks on the phone to do that. But yeah, I'm super passionate about helping framers be successful in your business because I empathize. I've been there. I know how hard it is.
Thank you, Sheila. So, guys, I want to go over the promotion one more time. So, with any beta testers or any new subscribers, once the software releases, you're going to get 2 hours of free one-on-one consulting with Sheila, and she's going to help you set up your software, set up your pricing. If you have any business questions, she will help you. So the first 2 hours are going to be on us. There'll be a time limit. Right now, if you're a beta tester, there's no time limit. You just, Sheila, going to put up some kind of a link, a Calendly link for people to use.
Yeah.
So she's going to put that up, and I'll put it everywhere. Maybe we'll put it on the website too. And
Yeah.
then you guys can set up a time with her, and then she'll help you for the first 2 hours. So we'll pay for the first 2 hours, and after that, you're kind of on your own. You got to pay her bills separately.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what else we have here. Sheila, thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Mo.
Take care. Aslan, I want to talk about what we are working on in the next couple of weeks. Can you give us some kind of a roadmap at least that we can expect happening?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so we're adding a section to our products where you'll be able to add hardwares, fittings, mountings, all that. That'll be under like a miscellaneous section. And then you can add that to your work orders as well. So you can have your store's own hardware, fitting, mounting, and all that stuff. And we'll also have like a general hardware, fitting, mounting area where you can pick from. We're also gonna be, so we're adding a notes section to the work orders. So a lot of people have been asking, like, whenever they create a work order, the employee, they write notes on it, maybe like something about the customer or like a special request that they had. That will be added to the work orders as well. And then one thing I really want to mention is a lot of people have been talking or requesting that we like convert their data from Lifesaver and FrameReady. So I mentioned in the previous live stream that that's a feature that's coming soon, and we are actively working on that. So the Lifesaver cloud, desktop, and the FrameReady software and server. So we're trying to create software for converting your data from those platforms to our platform, and we're in like the final stages of development. So it's coming soon. It's not quite ready yet, but that's all I can say for now. It's coming soon.
So as far as vendor updates go, we have Rustic Creation added. We have International, Vermont, Roma. We have the file for cache molding. Kyle, you requested cache molding, so we have the file for that. Who else wanted something? There's another vendor somebody wanted, and we have the file for that updated as well. So if you are a beta tester, just send me an email. It's contact@framingpos.com. It will be at the bottom of the screen over here, and then say, hey, look, these are the vendors I'm using, and we'll get those. We'll get those before the rest of them. How's that? We're going to try to get everybody in. However, we're going to accommodate all the beta testers first. So if you use somebody, Flotio, for example, let me know, and then we'll try to reach out to those people first, because I have the relationships with these vendors. It just takes some time to kind of get the files from them. So the sooner I know what you're using, especially if you're a beta user, we'll be happy to add those on. Jim, if you're still here, obviously you use the code Omega and Larson, one of those, right? So I have all those already in the system. So James was asking, will framing POS be at the show? We are working on it right now, most likely yes. And we're going to have some classes and so on put up there. So Jim knows exactly. He's got that to go. I'm local like you, man. We know exactly what you need. Okay, so we have Christina on Instagram. She goes, thank you, Sheila. We took your class in Vegas and it was very helpful. All right, that's great. That's on Instagram. Okay, so I think we covered all the questions. We covered all the points I want to cover today. We're going to be doing this again next week, same time. And then if you have any questions, we can get up. Oh, you know, Aslan, I'm going to do a quick demo. Let's do a quick demo if you don't mind on your end, because Mac Murphy was asking if you can do a trial version. We don't have a trial version, so you got to pay to do a beta tester. But we can show you a quick way of writing up a work order and then add that to the invoice. Would you like to give us a demo of that quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we're going to give you a quick demo of that.
Present my screen. All right, let me know when you can see it.
Yep.
Okay, so here is the screen for creating a new work order. I'm gonna give it a description. Mo, do you have any recommendations?
Hit Control plus a few times so the screen takes.
Oh, right. Here, that's my bad, guys.
Thank you.
There we go. I'm just gonna say custom ring. I'm gonna make this say 16.5 by say 20.1/4. All right. For the moldings, let's just go with whatever we have in this. I'm gonna search that decor 1000. So the outer dimensions of the frame are displayed right here. It's 18 inches by 21.75 inches. And if I want, I can add another one as well. Let me click on here. Let's go with, let's say this one by Larson Jewel.
Remove that. That's a fillet, actually. That's a.
Oh, that's a fillet. That's my bad.
I mean that works. That works though. But
Okay.
let's do like a regular frame. Don't pick a quarter inch. Yeah, that goes.
Okay.
That's a big molding. Yeah, add something like that.
Okay.
There you go.
So here, obviously, this is 4 inches in width, so you can see it scales in the preview. And obviously, I'm not an expert in framing, so I didn't know that was a fillet. That's my bad, guys. Okay, for mats, let's do a 1-inch mat all around. And I'm going to search for, let's just say this one by Autiq. And then I can actually add multiple mats as well. But let me add a white space for you guys. Let's say 1 by 2. So now there's a 1/2 inch white space. And then in the preview, you can see the white space comes first, and then on the outer layer, we got the mat. And for glazing, I'm just going to pick, say, museum glass. Seems fancy. All right, so here is the total size of the mat, the whites, and the white space. Here's the total for the molding, which is it's basically just adding these two numbers together. Then we got the total for the mat board, and then the total for the glazing. If you want, we can add miscellaneous like costs. Let's give it like an additional $20. So now the subtotal updated. If I want, I could also subtract $20. So now the grand total updated. If for any reason you want to lock the price, say you have like a request by like a special request by a customer that you agreed, oh, this is going to be 700. We can cap it at 700, and that'll be the total. I'm going to give it a normal priority, and let's say it's due tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to add this to an invoice. I can either add to an existing invoice, or I can create a new invoice. That's what I'm going to do. So here you can see that the work order is automatically added to the invoice. The price that I added, that I capped it at 700, is right there. And you can see that all the work orders in this invoice add up to $700. I'm going to add a customer. I can create a new customer, but I'm just going to go with this guy right here, Grace Evans. And then miscellaneous, I can add other miscellaneous items to the invoice. Let's say there's a shipping fee. I can just say description of shipping, give it a quantity of 1. Let's say shipping's $10. And now you can see that the miscellaneous item has a total of $10. And then the tax is calculated on both of these. If I want to exempt anything from tax, I can just simply click here. And now only the miscellaneous item is being taxed. Let me just, if I click this, you can see that all the tax is gone. So let me put that back. Let me give it a payment. Let's just say Visa of about, let's say the customer paid $500. So now you can see that the balance remaining is $268 up from $758. And then let me save this. And now you can see that this is the invoice that I just created. It's all the way in the top. If I click on it, all the info is right there. Shipping address is already filled out from the customer information. I can update anything I want. If say the customer comes back and pays the rest of it, let's say they paid by cash, I can just click on this pay rest button, and it fills out the remaining balance. So it's $0. So I can update this. And now you can see the status changed from deposit to paid in full. So that's basically the overall flow of how this works. You can create customers, you can go to work order, create work order, add it to an invoice. If you don't have a customer made already, you can create it in the invoice page. That's essentially how it works. Okay, let me stop sharing.
Okay, I got a couple of questions. I'm going to take Lucky Rabbit. How does the advertising work, and how are the vendors selective advertising? We will reach out to vendors that are in the industry, and then they can come in and they advertise on their own. It's going to be reputable vendors. It's not going to be some Alibaba people. It's going to be people that you all love and use. Right now, for my example, I have Rhonda Feynman because I have a lot of respect for Rhonda as a person, and her for product, and she's local to me in New York, so I got to show her some love. There's a question by James, and I addressed that in text, but I'm going to go ahead and read that and answer that. He says, is there integration with Shopify and Square? We have integration with Square. It's due in the couple of weeks coming. I looked at a couple of things today, so it's happening very soon. So with Square, you can take Square payments using the little Square terminal, or you can send a Square invoice. So there are two things to Square that we're going to integrate with. And then Shopify and WooCommerce is going to be next on the list. So you can get in and go ahead and use that. See, Lucky Rabbit had one more question. Will ads show up on printed items? Ads will not show up on printed items. Azan, if you don't mind showing the screen, we'll show how very not intrusive. What's the word for not intrusive? Least intrusive, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, not intrusive works.
Yeah. Go ahead, show me on one of those. It's not going to be showing on your printed invoice. Your customer will not see it. So here you go.
Oh, here's the integration page, by the way. It's just in settings under integrations. We have integration with Google Calendar and
it's called unobtrusive. Excuse me. There you go. Jim comes to the rescue. It's called unobtrusive.
Unobtrusive.
You know, we didn't talk about this integration, and I demoed it in the first initial setup. Our Google Calendar integration actually allows you to see your whole work system on Google Calendar. So you don't have to have multiple logins. You could just take in an iPhone, an iPad, or whatever kind of device you have. Install Google Calendar there, connect to your account, and then see all your workload there. When you click on the link in Google Calendar, and I will link to the video that I demoed this, you're going to be able to manage your orders there, so directly from Google Calendar.
Yeah, our app is currently being verified by Google. So once that process is complete, everyone will be able to use this.
Yeah. All right. Show me the ad part. Let me remove some of this text here. Remove that. Remove this. All right. So you have this on the right. So this is in the directory of the work orders and the invoices, and it's just to the right over here. Okay. And then where else does it show?
So when there's a table involved, it'll be on the right side. If there's like any other page, it's always in the bottom. It's like kind of tucked away. So it's not like super in your face, you know?
Good. And we might consider not having an ad version at some time, but right now that's not a priority because we don't think this is very, we think this is not unobtrusive, like Jim said.
Yeah. So if you like, let me show the print. So if I print this, you can see that the ad doesn't show up in the print of the work order.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to show the ads because if you print it out, you're going to give it to your customer. That doesn't make any sense. Jim says, very nice. I'm a first-time purchase point-of-sale user. I'm excited about this. Seems like you have a good team with a lot of knowledge. There you go, man. You get a pat on the back.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I got a question from Art Frame Inc. on Instagram. Is this video going to be uploaded to YouTube? This actually is being live streamed on YouTube, and it will be permanently there, so you can always go ahead and watch it there. And you know what? I will actually I will private message you. Can I do that? Maybe I'll private message you afterwards with the link on YouTube so you can watch it. Like Rabbit says, will advertisers affect monthly price? Less advertisers more monthly, more advertisers less. No, we have a formula for that. I think we're gonna hit a certain number of advertisers who would be in here. So the pricing is not going to go up and down. It's $55 if you're not a beta user, and that's it. And we're not going to make you pay long term because we want you to be able to say, hey, look, this isn't working for me, and leave. So you're just out to $55. So you're not going to be signing up for a 2-year plan, 3-year plan, and get stuck with that stuff. All right, let's see if there's any more questions. All right, I don't think we have any more questions, and I think I covered most of these questions. If I did not, you know how to reach me. Reach out to me and go to our website, and I'll be happy to answer those. And we'll do another one next Tuesday, same time. Next week, same time. All right. Azan, good to see you again, and I'll catch up with you later today.
All right, sounds good.
Take care.
Thanks for coming.